So just a few minutes ago, I made a video that I was going to publish and pretty much, set up for a conversation around, builds. I've decided I was going to push that video back because I just saw another article that I thought was really interesting. The Division game constantly gets things like this going, including other games with live service elements. And this is why, for many people, they keep hitting their heads on the wall trying to figure out why the division is not yet dead, because a lot of them will say the division is dead. Now, many times when you come out and you provide this kind of details, they'll say, oh, you're just doing this or shilling or whatever it is. But I mean, usually those kind of comments, I usually call them throwaway comments anyways, because the evidence is right here in front of you that this is a means for them to continue to throw people on their platform. So right now on PC Gamers, the website, they're advertising that the Division 2, Ubisoft's post-apocalyptic multiplayer game, is currently 85% off. Let's go to reader mode. This is too busy. Now, this says pretty much this hefty Division 2 discount arrives as the shooter's roguelike mode, Descent, hits the new Year 5 update, and we gear up for more Ubisoft goodness in the form of Assassin's Creed Mirage. People are asking online if the Division is actually a good game. If you want to go and, kind of look at Reddit groups and stuff, this is interesting, people, because the price point is actually very attractive. Because 85% off of a game that was about $60, maybe you want to add some things to your library, and you look around and you're like, man, what does this game even cost right now? Now, in case you were wondering what this 85% price point looks like, I'll go ahead and show you here because I think you're going to like it. I mean, it's insane what it looks like. It's actually $4.50 for the standard edition right now on PC. This is a small change for somebody who wants to jump in, and if they jump in on this version and say, hey, let me give it a try, right? Let me go for it. They can try a demo if they also wanted to, but they could go with this $4.50, or they could maybe do a Ubisoft subscription. All of this still adds monies to the coffers of Ubisoft as a whole. This is why software sales today are prioritizing moving down and moving even further into this particular aspect of doing live service games, because these live service games, these games with live service elements allow for profitability and allow for just further infusion of money into the coffers of the development and the publisher. Because if you think about it, the Division 2 was supposed to be closed down, but somebody thought it out and said, you know what? Why don't we just continue to run these seasons, run Year 5 and 6 updates with these manhunts? Look at the numbers that we brought in after Warlords of New York, because I don't know if you guys know, Warlords of New York was kind of kicked off a lot of where the Division is right now. Look how many more, individuals we brought into the ecosystem, because for those of you who remember, Warlords of New York was about $3 at the base game was about $3 before the Warlords of New York DLC came out. So that Warlords of New York DLC not only sold to the base player base, but also has sold to many more agents across the board over time. A lot of new agents showed up. They picked up the game. They were like, man, I did not know that this was a breath of fresh air. I cannot necessarily just run my way and gun down everybody. I have to actually think about playing the game, spend time absorbing the open world and absorbing the systems and the mechanics. So this has been overall, in my opinion, something that has triggered, a new paradigm for looking at video games by publishers, by developers, and so on and so forth. The downside, though, that's knocked out a lot of these other live service games, that is giving live service games a bad rap, is the fact that a lot of these live service games that even come out don't have as much as the quality of the Division 2 or the Division 1 itself. I mean, that is just a fact. If you go and look at a lot of them, they look a lot like just cash grabs. Oh, somebody just wanted to quickly make money, so they put out, a kind of a game that was bereft of content, even at its release and its onset. In fact, the Division 2, when it launched, and, we can talk about a Division 1's launch, which was not even too fat with content as well, was kind of lean. The Division 2, once it launched, was also lacking in any further content. But the developers were like, hey, we're coming, we're bringing content, by the way. In fact, I think there were issues where people got locked out of specific areas. I think Marco Style and some of their friends were locked out of like the final part of the game because there was some kind of a bug, because they were trying to beat the game in one whole day, which is not representative of how a lot of people play games anyways, but it was still a thing. And so when I start looking at this, I'm like, man, there is, in my opinion, an incentive for a lot of these developers and publishers to keep making games like this, which also leads me to the confusion that makes me go, but why is Ubisoft Massive not pursuing this area again with another Division title, or at least another whole title to rebrand or rewrap this entire concept that has been really profitable for them, that has put them in the map. This is not even a case for another Division game. I know we make that case all the time. Oh, why is there not a Division 3 game? Maybe they should make a Division 3 game, and so on and so forth. But let's say we set that aside for now. Let's say we put that, on the back burner. What is stopping Ubisoft Massive from taking this concept and fleshing it out in an entirely different game? There are all kinds of different ideas and different concepts that you can go with. You can take the shooter route, stick with that, and you can flesh out multiple systems as time goes on. I mean, I almost want to say, at this point in time, if the support is consistent and they're not wishy-washy, oh, do we stop the game or do we not stop the game? And they're able to use the experience that they have right now to develop, 5-8 year plans, they might be able to come up with something as strong as Elder Scrolls Online or something that's as strong as Final Fantasy XIV. Now, those games, yeah, they're not perfect, but I remember the story of Final Fantasy XIV. I think that's the one where the game was not actually in a strong state at launch, but eventually got better. Eventually was able, to bring in its audience, and the developers were able to do right by the developers. So these are just a few things that, made me want to go ahead and talk about this in this video, because I thought it was worthwhile. I thought it was worth looking into because of the way the news pretty much came, full circle, showing that this game is going on an 85% discount, being sold for $4. The Warlords of New York version, I don't even know how much that is even going to be selling for. That's probably selling for the full price. They're probably pricing these things in a way where, you as the gamer, you would probably be, thinking, should I buy this or should I buy that? Wait, hold on. Let me go ahead and show you guys this. This is actually pretty interesting. The Warlords of New York version is actually, let me see, is actually $9. So you can get into the game. It says this. It says Tom Clancy's Division 2, Warlords of New York expansion, and the level 30 boost. So they want to get you into this ecosystem, and then, you're here spending money with Year 1 Pass content. Many of you know what Year 1 Pass brings, right? It gives you that extra specialization that we got. If it was going to unlock it was going to unlock the specialization for you immediately without having to do all of the different things that you need, the requirements that you needed to move or whatever the heck it is. Let me go ahead and show you guys over here, because that's very important. That's very pertinent that you see. It's kind of a shortcut for something that you can do without, but would be nice if you also had, like this one here. I think it was the gunner specialization and firewall specialization that had those field research, where you had to do all of this stuff, where if you got the season pass, you didn't need to do these. You just got the gunner specialization straight up. And I think it was also firewall also had it. I think technician also had it as well. So there are a few things in there that you can benefit from. So this is probably what it is that they're trying to do. So at the $9 price point, people come in, they spend this extra money, maybe say 100,000 people buy it at $4. Guys, that's 400 grand. Let's say they even come in and some of them buy cosmetics. That's way more money. So I'm just not noticing how this financial incentive is not a driving force for Massive to continue down this road. They obviously are putting in more quality than anybody else. Frustrating as a Division and a Division 2 may be to the gamers, it's still something that, when you look at the quality of the Division and maybe say another game that just recently came out that's like a live service game, or the other ones that have shut down like Marvel's Avengers, you can see that there's clearly substance here. And so I'm just shocked as to why this is not being pursued. But these are my thoughts. I'd love to hear yours in the comment section. Let's chat about this stuff. It's quite fascinating that video game developers and publishers can sometimes not be so certain as to what direction to go, even if sometimes it's sitting right in front of them. Thanks for watching. Peace out.